The 25 Lok Sabha seats in the Northeast are significant because they don't just represent people, they represent identities which are unique. Now, in a polarized electorate, we debate the issue of identity politics. Is there a larger Indian identity? Perhaps the answers we seek from the region, the diversity and representation of the Northeast, are lessons available to the larger canvas of Indian polity. Could polarization and one-upmanship soon be pushing minorities, religious, linguistic and ethnic, to the wall? As Indian democracy expresses itself in a manner that's incomparable anywhere in the world, the people of the Northeast have come out in large numbers to exercise their franchise. The two seats in the largest northeastern state by area, Arunachal Pradesh, saw a voter turnout of 77%. 8 of the 14 seats that have gone to the polls in the first half of the elections in Assam saw an average poll percentage of 76%. The two seats in Manipur, which voted in different phases, had a poll percentage of 79%. The two seats in Meghalaya saw a voter turnout of 69%. Tripura's two seats saw 84% of the electorate exercise their franchise, and the single seat in Nagaland saw 88%, the one seat in Sikkim 81%, and about 62% voted for the lone seat in Mizoram.
You know, it's also a national phenomenon this time that more people are voting. I think there's greater consciousness, there's greater effort by the Election Commission of India to engage people to come out and exercise their vote. Also, there is a mood for change in the country. So many more people, and I find that many more young people, many more first-time voters, and urban middle-class Indian is come out in very large numbers. In Northeast, there's always been higher voter turnout than in the rest of India, and maybe they've been more conscious, of their rights. And of course, there is a facility. The number of people per polling booth is less than in, say, Heartland India. So all these things have added to explain why many more people are turning out to vote, and it's a very, very healthy development.
Well, compared to the rest of India, you'll always find people in Northeast are more aware about the election, about their candidates, about the issues in the election. And what I can say is one of the reasons can be that the education level is definitely very high in many of the northeastern states, and that can be one reason why there's so much awareness. Second thing, people in Northeast take election as celebration, and it's a wonderful experience to cover elections in Northeast because you'll find many of them coming in their traditional dresses during the election campaign. And the whole campaigning scenario during the campaign, during the election process, you'll find the traditional culture, the music of the place, the music, the song, and it's all full of colors. And that is probably why, the roots of democracy, I can say, is definitely more strong in the northeastern states.
While it may be true that the Northeast has usually been polling high in the recent past, credit should be given to the awareness campaign that included the world-famous Shillong Choir lending their voices to a campaign to register as voters.
I defy.
I run. I try.
I shout.
I laugh.
I float.
I show.
I see.
I know.
Every vote is important. Mine is important. I've enrolled to vote.
Let's go!
My vote is my voice. My vote is my power.
It takes just one.
I'm now 18. I will decide.
I stumble, now I stand. Alone or in a crowd, I sing out loud. Time I took that charge. All I need is a need for us.
I love my land and my land needs my vote, man. It's that simple.
My generation grows up fast. We know responsibility.
Question marks all around. Grab the answers and bring them to the ground. The road's a maze for sure, but the key is you and me. We know responsibility. Yeah. Oh, 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 oh.
I own my life, I own my vote. It's the way to go.
Step 3. Vote, being true to yourself.
The quality I admire most in a person is fairness. Voting gives me the chance to be fair.
Step 2. Enroll to vote.
I'm going to walk, run, slide, glide, whatever it takes to the DC's office.
Step 1. Party hard on your 18th birthday.
I've done some wild things. And then one day, I did something great. I enrolled to vote. I will vote.
Go enroll your names.
As a voter.
Election Commission very strategically they chose this group, and they chose music to be a part of the campaign to encourage more voters to come out and vote. And because I mean in all across the northeast, but especially in Meghalaya, you will see music plays a very important role, and even the western music has a lot of influence over people. So they chose the right mode of campaigning, the right mode of encouraging people, and that worked a lot. When in YouTube you see the video got a lot of hits, and this video, the music video that was released by the Election Commission, that became a overnight hit, and within a few hours when there were so many hits on YouTube.
Meghalaya, which boasts of a matrilineal tradition, didn't seem to support women in politics. The undercurrent of patriarchy quite evident in the state.
You see the Meghalaya society, especially the Khasi society, you will find it's a matrilineal system. Women dominate the society. They are the head of the family. The financial power is with them. But when it comes to politics, when it comes to direct participation in politics, when it comes to contesting the election, their participation is negligible. And well, that was surprising for me also when I went there to cover the thing. I mean, on the election day, you will find most of them. I mean, the queue of women is always longer than the men. You will find the polling percentage finally is the women outnumber men in the terms of voting, also in the terms of in the voter list also. But they choose not to contest, and that is something surprising. I tried to inquire a bit on this, that what's the reason behind it, and what I could find was that although it's a matrilineal society, but it's still not a matriarchal society. The political power is still with men.
Mizoram was supposed to go to the polls on April 9 in the second phase, but it had to be postponed to April 11 following a 72-hour statewide bandh called by the joint NGO coordination in protest against the exercise of franchise by Bru voters in 6 relief camps in Tripura. They were demanding repatriation of all Brus from the 6 relief camps in North Tripura within 3 months of the election process, and deletion of the names of those who refused to return to Mizoram from the voters list. The election did take place on April 11 after the polling personnel were able to reach the polling stations. Mizoram had seen assembly elections last year, and they were almost forgotten by the mainstream media. The Congress retaining an overwhelming majority in the state, winning 34 of the 40 seats, and Laltan Havla being sworn in as the Chief Minister for a second consecutive term.
Because when these 5 assembly states were taking place, as a media person, sometimes we used to forget the 5th state. We used to say that there are election of 4 states. So it's a huge reaction in Northeast that you are ignoring our assembly election. You are saying 4 states. Largely the mainstream media, they didn't cover and which state is the election is, whether it's a Mizoram or Manipur. A lot of people, they didn't know in Delhi.
Simultaneous assembly elections were held to Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh, along with the Lok Sabha polls, and in Sikkim too, the dominance of one party, the Sikh Democratic Front, which has literally dominated the state since it was founded in 1993, was visible.
That's a worrying part of the whole thing, where you have such a dominant party capturing everything, virtually, that no other party is allowed to rise and be a counter to it. And that of course, yes, certainly goes to alienate people, and it's not a very healthy, happy thing.
This is Northeast Interface. We're taking a break. Stay with us.